What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and Lucasfilm continues to show that they have no idea what they're doing, that they are completely out of touch, and Disney Star Wars remains a laughingstock for so many reasons. Now, one of those that we're going to talk about today is this post on Twitter that's getting a lot of attention, not only because Luke Skywalker looks like a woman, there's no other way to describe it, Luke Skywalker definitively looks like a chick in this picture, but also because mysteriously missing from this promotion, this May the 4th be with you promotion, are sequel trilogy characters, and a lot of people are really triggered by that. But before we get into that, I want to talk about something that popped up earlier this week. Again, they are continuing to write The Rise of Skywalker over a year after its release. This movie was an absolute disaster. This movie destroyed so much of Star Wars canon. Even if you're talking about Disney canon, it absolutely destroyed it. And now, look at the headline. Yes, Star Wars just implied that Luke Skywalker's severed hand was used to create Snoke. Everything about the sequel trilogy is a mess. It wasn't planned out. They're still continuing to try to write it and try to explain it. And every time they attempt to, with every comic book, with every novelization, with every single way they try to explain it, it only gets worse. It only gets more convoluted and inconsistent because it's incompetence. Lucasfilm, a lot of the people at Lucasfilm right now, a lot of people running Disney Star Wars, they're just incompetent. Exegol, Palpatine, Snoke, the Final Order. These are all concepts Star Wars fans are still trying to make sense of well over a year after The Rise of Skywalker released in theaters. There have been many discrepancies with the handling of the Emperor's return in the Skywalker Saga's final chapter, the quote Skywalker Saga, with the film notoriously leaving the explanation to somehow Palpatine returned. And I've heard some people arguing about this like, oh, they explained it in the movie. No, they didn't. They specifically went out of their way to not explain it. Even the actors didn't understand it because they didn't want to get into that mess. You have the stupid throwaway line. Cloning. Sith sorcery. Secrets only the Sith knew. Like, this thing that's just like shouting out a few potential things that it could be just to make you think about it, that is not enough. It was a complete and total mess. Later ancillary material revealed that Palpatine in Episode 9 was actually the Force essence of the Sith Lord encapsulated in a clone body. Despite the appearance that the figure had somehow survived an explosion, Rise of Skywalker also revealed that Snoke was a clone, one of many creations Palpatine tinkered with. But now, the latest arc in Darth Vader issue 11, it was heavily implied that Luke Skywalker's severed hand was recovered from Bespin and DNA was used on the project to create Snoke. And here's the art from that comic. You have Vader walking through. With clones of Snoke in there. The scalpel of creation. I used it to make all of these things. I can use it to make anything. And that's the hand, the severed hand of Luke Skywalker with all these Snoke clones. They just told you that they are using Luke Skywalker to make clones of Snoke. One, it's ridiculous that this is the way you're trying to describe it, that if it was really that, if it was that important, you didn't somehow explain it in the fucking movie. Two, it's obvious that they continue to bastardize so many ideas from things that came before, from the expanded universe. In Heir to the Empire, they did make a clone of Luke not Heir to the Empire, in the Last Command, so the last book in the original Thrawn trilogy, there was a clone of Luke Skywalker that was made from his recovered hand. He was wielding the recovered lightsaber as well, because what do you know, those things kind of come hand in hand, no pun intended. But in this one, we're supposed to believe that Maz Kanata found Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and just kicked his hand around a little bit. I'm not sure. Additionally, it was revealed the source of Palpatine's immense power and might of the Final Order fleet is a massive Kyber crystal. There you go. More writing and more explanations for The Rise of Skywalker. Luke's hand? Snoke? What? It should be noted that Luke Skywalker's severed hand had been discussed as a plot point for the sequel trilogy dating all the way back to one of the earlier drafts of J.J. Abrams' take on Force Awakens. Initially, the film was to open with the hand still clutching Anakin's lightsaber, tumbling through space, making its way towards Jakku. The hand would then disintegrate, and that lightsaber would plummet in the sand and serve as the MacGuffin for the film. What an absolute mess. Star Wars is in shambles right now. Their continuity is in absolute shambles, and they continue to double down and try to explain these things. But let's talk about this and why so many Disney Star Wars fans, so many Disney sequel trilogy fans are pissed off. Because in this Star Wars tweet, Celebrate May the 4th with a bounty of deals on Star Wars video games. And you can go there. Star Wars Day. I will never acknowledge May the 4th as Star Wars Day. May the 25th is and always will be Star Wars Day, just so everyone knows. May the 4th is a fucking meme. May the 4th is not something that was even officially recognized until 1 year before Disney bought Star Wars. And then, of course, Disney doubled down on the meme on a day that means nothing to Star Wars fans, as opposed to May 25th, which is officially Star Wars Day in the city of Los Angeles. It's a fucking holiday. But I digress. This isn't the video to talk about that. But they show, oh, look, we got all these deals on there. What people are really upset about is the art. Again, I talked about Luke Skywalker, and Data Racer says the same thing. Why is Luke Skywalker wearing lipstick, eyeliner, and mascara? It looks extremely feminized. Indeed, it does. But one thing that people are very upset about, excluding the sequels, that's a no from me, Chief. Memology likes it. At least at Star Wars Comic-Con, they didn't forget the sequels. New movies suck. That's pretty straight and to the point. But there's a lot of people in here that are very triggered about the fact that the sequel trilogy is not represented in any way. Of course, there's a lot of people laughing at that as well. I wanted to point something out, and this was given to me, this was sent to me by someone else. They said, hey, I see this story going around there a lot. It's actually kind of a cropped together piece of art. This is the entire thing, and if you scroll to the sides, it's like a banner piece. You can see that it does include sequel trilogy characters. You got Finn, Rey, and Poe over here on one side. And then if you go all the way to the other, you'll actually see you have Kylo Ren over on this side. So they did include these characters in the entire art piece. However, I don't know if it was strategic. I don't know why. They decided to crop a bunch of different things together, leave out any sequel trilogy characters. Now, that makes a lot of sense to me because I don't think very many people care about those characters. I think that's pretty obvious when you look at the sales, when you look at things like this, when you look at promotions. The sequel trilogy characters just don't move the needle. That is the bottom line. Maybe Lucasfilm finally understands that. But I did want to point out that for those people that are very triggered or very upset or think that, wow, they're completely moving away from it, you do have them on the entire art piece. Don't know why they decided to do this here, but I had to talk about that because people were pissed yesterday about this. A lot of the Disney Star Wars stands, and I understand why. To me, for someone who had all of this, and I'll go ahead and full screen it, for someone who had all this and was following along with all of this, when Star Wars told me that, that doesn't matter anymore, that's off in this little branch, it's going to be called Legends, we're not going to do anything else with it, but it's just there. Yeah, that fucking pissed me off too. So, I guess you're getting a little taste of how it feels to have these characters that you care about, shoved to the side and forgotten about. Who knows what the true intent was, but it's pretty funny to laugh at nonetheless. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, about Snoke being a fucking clone from Luke Skywalker's hand, about Disney Star Wars fans being mad, all of it. Let me know. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.